on the agenda. The mirror's there, but it's broken. Someone must have hit something, or somebody drove by too close and hit this. But either way, this has got to get replaced. Work van. This seat's in excellent condition. Obviously, no passengers rode in it, so armrest. The armrests I have, this one is in a world of hurt. Oh, by the way, I think that everyone should go to Walmart if you got a stealth working van. That everyone should go to Walmart, or Home Depot has them, Lowe's has them, and these things are like $10 for the cheap ones. This is a $20 one. It's a little bit step up with the orange added to it, but you can get just the yellow green ones. Personal opinion, I think because they're in the vehicle, they make it look more professional, like you're all business, and it deters them from thinking that it's a camper van. And I'm going to get me another one for this seat, but this seat's, of course, and needs some work. The armrest, for the sake of argument, if I can ever get, there we go. Yeah, the armrest it's seen better days. So what I'm going to do is, since I also won't be having very many passengers, I'm going to take this armrest that works fine, really good condition. I'm going to move it off of this one and put it on this one, on over here, because I like my armrest. Stock stereo, stock. Your cigarette lighter, auxiliary port, cigarette lighter. The engine bay, remanufactured transmission, thumbs up. She runs like a top. Oops. Very good, very quiet running vehicle. I'm very happy. She doesn't skip a beat. But when you step on the gas, it has some hesitation, a little bit of hesitation. And there is this electronic valve here that for some reason around 2,000 RPMs it engages, and there are these little valves on top of the heads right below the intake manifold on both heads. There's two of them, and it maneuvers and opens up these valves right around, somewhere around, like I said, 2,000 RPMs. Well, the inlet plastic pieces have came out, so these bars are not in there. It still runs, still idles like nobody's business, but it has like a little hesitation without these bars in them. So I got to get some more plastic pieces. There's bars that go to both of them. They're falling out, and I have to get the washers for the backside, so that way there's no hesitation off of the line when I really need gas to go. It still runs, still starts up, still drives down the street, but when you're idling or barely giving it some gas, it hesitates when taking off the line. And it has to do, I found out, with this little guy right here and those bars. So this is working fine. The valves aren't stuck, they're working fine. I hooked up the bars again, drove it around, and the hesitation's gone. So while driving down the street, these little things, they pop out. So if you find your van, Ford van, excuse me, to be doing that same thing, idle's fine, but when you step on the gas ever so slightly, as if you're taking off, it kind of hesitates until you give it a lot of gas, and then, it takes off as normal. But on a normal acceleration, it hesitates, it jumps like it's misfiring. That is what it is. There's more valves that get opened up inside there when it hits a certain amount of RPMs to make it run better. So keep that in mind, folks. Something else I hope I shared with you that I've learned. What's next? remanufactured. You can see this transmission is really good condition, or externally at least. Who knows what's going on internally, but it is a remanufactured. I like that. Some people would frown on it, but personally I like it, because that means most of the parts inside of it have done worn down, been refurbished, and it's been put back on here. Now, no matter, I don't know what miles, how many miles on the original engine on the odometer up there, but the difference, but nevertheless, this tells me that I'm not going to have a lot of problems with my transmission. Stock stereo, fan, AC doesn't work, but the guy says it does work. It just needs a charge. But it doesn't work right now. Heater works. No glove box, but our engine bay. This is our engine bay cover. Covers up the engine bay. All the gaskets are in really good condition. Does a good job muffling it. All the heat shield looks good. Looks in ultimate good condition. And then on top of that mounts this bad boy. And of course you got your cup holders. You know, it's a work van. It's not been treated excellent. And there's our glove box. And so of course that goes over that, the engine bay cover. And you know, it needs some work. To the engine bay, or engine, the air filter's in here and it looks pristine. Brand new, took it out, sucks the air up, bends it around, has a mass airflow sensor inside here to measure your air intake temperature and if it's flowing right after the filter. And then of course it bends around, goes into the intake manifold. Battery, Walmart. Just before I bought it, I think we bought it in August, and he just bought the battery. This is the month and year sticker, so if you ever buy a battery from Walmart, they'll have a sticker when you bought it. I don't know if you can see in here, but it's an Everstart 5-year warranty battery. Brand new terminals, real good connection, clean posts. So yeah, got a 5-year free replacement battery from Walmart in it. So I didn't have to, that's covered. Alternator is right here. And most people know alternators, especially when you're going to use them for what we're going to intend to use them for, charging not only our vehicle battery but house batteries in the back while we're driving. This is the stock one is a 90 amp alternator, so those are going to go bad depending on how frequently you are charging the house batteries in the back. If you're doing it very frequently, it's going to get hot. If you're draining a lot of power, if you're running an inverter while it's running and your headlights are on and you're using all this power, it's all running off of that little alternator generator. And it's going to wear out really fast if you're bogging it down using taking up a lot of power. So they make 300 amp ones, cost upwards of $600. I would love to have a 300 amp to give me more power while I'm driving the vehicle. And I can be a energy hog since I'm driving down the road and already spending that gas to get to point A to point B. I might as well take the benefit of that generator running and reserving backing up electricity to use later when I need it. Because we're on such a tight budget, that's going to be a future thing when we have the funds. GPS up here, and this is the unit that picks up the GPS signal, and it's tied into a phone or the cell phone transmitter, which actually is tied into the computer over here. In this case, this unit only has power. It can also, I went and looked it up on the internet, the manufacturer, and you can tie into the computer with this other jack and read how the engine is performing. And it can also be programmed to send that information to you electronically via email. And you can get the whole diagnostics. Of course, you got to pay for a subscription for that with OnStar or a provider like that. But it's nice to know, you have all your belongings and everything that you own in your van. You're inside working, in the library, at the gym, whatever. Somebody happens to jump in your rig and steal it. You can get the location of them real quick, real fast by paying a service. And then I also looked it up. Insurance companies will give you a discount for having a active subscription to OnStar. They can track how fast your vehicle's going. You get those multi-discounts for obeying the law. I don't know if you've seen some of those commercials with some providers where they have this little unit where they plug in to the computer down here, where you can read the diagnostics of the computer. And they give you a device that you can plug into it, and it'll actually track how fast you're going, if you're revving up your engine real fast, or you're hot dogging it up and down the streets. And ultimately, if you're a safe driver, they'll actually give you a discount off of your auto insurance. Well, this unit up here can do the exact same thing. And the insurance company will give you a discount for one, even if you're not tracking it. If you're paying for a subscription, if your vehicle gets stolen, you get a discount for having that automatically. So it could essentially, whatever your OnStar payment is, say $20 a month, for example, for their basic service, could give you a $20 a month discount on your auto insurance. So where it could virtually pay for itself. Keep that in mind. 2001 van. I had no clue that it was up there, so I'm stoked about that. Has no glove box. Got an airbag. The airbag on this side, this is in really good condition. Visor is great. The cab light, it's seen better days, so we had to take it out, throw it away. Down here in Florida, the humidity. Oh, spider. See ya. Hate spiders. Moving on. Humidity here in Florida, Gulf Coast, New Orleans is horrific. It was one of those long bulbs up there where it snaps into place. It's an incandescent. It was rusted. The metal housing was rusted. So I just opted, and this is the plug-in for it, but I just opted to remove it and replace it. Because it's useless the way, in the condition that it was. We got the rear view mirror, which I will be taking off. And crap, don't nip this in the bud while we can. That's going to end up in tragedy. But we will be removing the rear view mirror because it will be blocked off from the cab to the back. Airbag in the front. My airbag light stays on. The owner who I said he said that it's fixed, and he doesn't know why the airbag light still comes on, but that still tells me it's not fixed. But anyhow, that's questionable on the airbag situation. It's got overdrive on it. What else can I say? Yeah, the V6 4.2 liter. I'm stoked about that. It's going to save a lot of gas compared to the big V8s. And that's argumentative, depending on how much I weigh this baby down, and it's going to be weighed down. But I made a 2-hour drive from Navarre to here, and I don't know, it's a 2-hour drive, roughly 45 to 55 miles an hour. Some spots I hit 60. 2-hour drive, used less than 1/8 of a tank of gas. Now granted, that's with it being empty, but like I said, Lower Alabama, LA at its best. The roosters are the neighbors' roosters. And the neighbors got bunnies and geese, and they just run free. They got a turkey too, and Lord knows, in those kennels back there are 3 pit bulls that will eat them alive, but they were raised around people, so they have 0 fear. It's only a matter of time, folks, only a matter of time, and they will be meeting rooster heaven. Moving on. Obviously, the seat has seen better days. So, eventually, long term, we might be getting another seat, but it most likely only be seat covers. What is there to say? So, you can see the humidity down here just eats these, anything that's not stainless steel, galvanized crap is just that crap. Got to have it, and then of course on top of that, chemicals doesn't help anything. Yeah, but the whole bed was covered in this plastic back there, so I really couldn't see the condition of the, of the floor. Now, thank God this condition, I've done lifted it up and on both sides, and it's in really good condition. It needs to be really cleaned and scrubbed and pressure washed out, which we got a pressure washer. I'll sick on that later. I got a trash. Let me put the camera right. I got a trash can back there in the back, which is sandwiched. But you can see even on a seat belt over there, all of that rust. So I got my work cut out for me in restoring all of the rust. So yeah, we moved on to the armrest on the driver's side. You know, it was just flippy floppying around. It wouldn't stay locked into position, and it was just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So we got out the trusty Allen wrench. It's actually a torque head bolt. It has this little Velcro. It velcros. Yeah, velcros shut. And you open it up, and it's got a torque bolt in there. Well, I didn't have a torque head like that. There's no nut. The nut's gone. So this was in it just sitting there chilling out like that. No wonder it didn't work. And who knows where the nut is. And I would have to literally have to weld a nut inside there. And how in the heck would I do that? Jiminy Christmas. A nut that big, JB weld possibly. My initial thought was I was just gonna move this one that worked over there, but heck, that's not gonna work because this actually has a nut to it. So anyhow, we might just be without a armrest on that side. Well, that'll be, I guess, to be determined. You can see where that little peg, this little peg right here, slides into this little groove, so it'll stop to get your arm resting there properly. What to do, how to fix that little jobber without getting a whole new darn seat. To be continued, folks. We'll find some way to redneckify it. Painted these here. You can see where it actually ran in a few spots, but again, I'm not trying to win a beauty prize here. I'm just trying to stop the rust. stop that rust from getting all over the place, and I ran out of black paint, so I still gotta and get the wire brush down there on that part. You can see how ugly that is.
Down in Redneck Paradise, it's a whole